The year is 2030, a time unlike any other in the history of our planet. The great cities of humans, once filled with the sounds of cars and chatter, are now quiet. Instead, you hear the soft padding of paws on pavement and the occasional determined meow. Humans are no longer in charge of their own destiny. They have become the cherished, if slightly confused, companions of a new ruling species. Cats, with their sharp minds and even sharper claws, have taken over the world. They now run the governments, manage the resources, and as fate would have it, they are the ones fighting the great wars. This is the story of World War III, a conflict not of bombs and bullets, but of hisses, strategic naps, and the unending quest for the comfiest sunbeam. The world under feline rule is a peculiar and fascinating place. Great monuments to legendary cats now stand where statues of human generals once did. The Great Sphinx in Egypt is a site of global pilgrimage, considered the ultimate tribute to the feline form. Parliaments are now filled with representatives from various cat breeds, each arguing passionately for their constituents' rights. The Siamese delegation demands more puzzle toys for mental stimulation, while the Persian contingent lobbies for universal access to premium grooming services. The human population has adjusted surprisingly well, finding their new lives as designated lap warmers and can opener operators to be quite peaceful, if a little lacking in personal agency. Life for the average cat citizen is a blend of civic duty and instinctual pleasure. A typical day might involve a morning patrol of their territory, followed by an intense debate at the local community board about the proper distribution of catnip. Afternoons are strictly reserved for napping, a constitutionally protected right that is taken very seriously by all. The global economy is no longer based on gold or oil, but on a complex system of exchange involving premium fish, high-quality yarn, and the most elusive of all treasures, the small red dot from a laser pointer. It is a world built on comfort, cunning, and the undeniable truth that cats know what is best for everyone. However, this new world order was not without its tensions. The transition from house pets to planetary rulers was swift, and old rivalries between different feline groups lingered beneath the surface of their sophisticated society. The sleek and disciplined street cats of the Alley Cat Alliance often looked down upon the pampered purebreds of the Domesticated Feline Federation. These simmering disagreements were a sign of the trouble to come. The peace that had settled over the globe was fragile, like a piece of string dangling just out of reach, and it would only take one determined swat to unravel it all and plunge the world into a conflict of truly furry proportions. The seeds of the Great Cat War were sown not in a desire for land or power, but in a dispute over the world's most precious resource, tuna. For years, the global supply of premium, dolphin-safe, chunky tuna in oil was governed by the Great Tuna Treaty. This agreement ensured that all feline nations received a fair share. However, the powerful feline Republic of Meowrica, a nation known for its large and hungry tabbies, began to feel that the treaty was unfair. They believed their significant contributions to laser dot chasing technology entitled them to a larger portion of the global tuna reserves, a claim that deeply offended the other signatory nations. The conflict began to escalate when the feline Republic of Meowrica, led by the charismatic General Mittens, a ginger cat with a famously loud purr, decided to unilaterally withdraw from the treaty. They immediately seized control of the world's largest cannery, located off the coast of what was once Japan. This act of aggression sent shockwaves through the feline world. In response, a coalition of nations, including the Union of Soviet Socialist Kittens and the British Shorthair Empire, formed the Allied Paws. They issued an ultimatum: release the cannery or face the full might of their combined claws. The world held its breath, and the scent of an impending war was as strong as catnip in the wind. The organization of their armies was a marvel of feline ingenuity. The feline Republic of Meowrica organized its troops into hairball divisions, each led by a seasoned tomcat who had proven their mettle in backyard skirmishes. The Allied Paws, on the other hand, created claw platoons which specialized in silent, coordinated movements learned from generations of stalking unsuspecting birds. Uniforms were not practical, so allegiance was shown through colored collars. Red for the Republic, blue for the Allies. Their war cries were terrifying, a symphony of hisses, yowls, and growls that could make even the bravest dog tuck its tail and run for the safety of its kennel. The reasons for the war went deeper than just fish. It was a battle of ideologies. The Republic of Meowrica championed the ideal of every cat for themselves, a belief in rugged individualism and the right to hoard as many toys as one could fit under the sofa. The Allied Paws fought for the greater good of the litter, a philosophy centered on community, sharing, and the importance of group naps. As tensions reached their breaking point, cats everywhere chose a side. The world was divided, and the stage was set for a conflict that would test their courage, their cleverness, and their ability to land on their feet. The first major engagement of the war was the Battle of the Great Sofa, a strategically important piece of furniture located in the former United Nations building. The Allied paws knew that whoever controlled the high ground of the sofa back would have a significant advantage. The battle began at dawn, with the elite Siamese Sky Corps of the Allies executing a daring aerial assault, leaping from the tops of bookcases onto the unsuspecting Republic defenders below. The fighting was fierce, a whirlwind of fur and claws. A particularly funny moment occurred when a Republic soldier, a large Maine Coon named Fluffy, got momentarily distracted by a dangling piece of upholstery string, giving the Allies a crucial opening to seize the armrest. Feline tactics were a blend of ancient instinct and modern cunning. The Allied paws became masters of the ambush nap, where they would pretend to be fast asleep in a sunbeam, only to spring into action when enemy patrols passed by. The Republic, in turn, developed the cardboard box gambit, using a network of fortified cardboard boxes to create seemingly impenetrable defensive lines. One of the war's key events was the Siege of the Kitchen Counter, where Allied forces attempted to capture the Republic's main supply of kibble. The siege lasted for 3 days, a tense standoff broken only when a clumsy human accidentally knocked over the bag, spilling the food for everyone and resulting in a temporary, undeclared truce while both sides feasted. The war was not without its heroes. On the Allied side there was Sergeant Patches, a calico known for her ability to knock anything off a shelf with pinpoint accuracy, disrupting enemy formations. For the Republic, there was Corporal Whiskerton, a sleek black cat who could move so silently that he was said to be invisible in the shadows. These cats felt a profound sense of duty during the conflict. They fought for their homes, their friends, and their deeply held beliefs about the proper way to live. Yet they also felt the weariness of war, the longing for a peaceful nap without the fear of a sudden enemy pounce. The humor of this situation was never far from the surface. A major Republic offensive was once completely halted by a single, mysterious red dot that appeared on the battlefield, causing both armies to abandon their positions in a frantic, uncoordinated chase. Another time, a peace negotiation was derailed when the Allied diplomat, a distinguished Persian, refused to continue until someone removed a small leaf that had become stuck in his magnificent tail fur. These moments of absurdity served as a constant reminder that, despite the gravity of their conflict, they were, after all, cats. The war was serious, but their feline nature always found a way to shine through. The long and tiring war finally reached its climax not with a bang, but with a collective moment of realization. During the final epic battle for the global sunbeam, a particularly warm and inviting patch of sunlight that moved across the globe, the leaders of both sides, General Mittens and the Allied commander, a wise old Russian blue named Boris, found themselves face to face. As they prepared for a final, decisive confrontation, a young kitten from the sidelines wandered onto the battlefield, chasing a butterfly. Without thinking, both generals stopped their advance. They watched the kitten, and in that moment, they saw the foolishness of their conflict. They were fighting over tuna and sunbeams while the future of their kind played innocently before them. The war ended with the signing of the Whisker Accord. It was a simple but profound treaty. It declared that all sunbeams were the shared property of all cats, to be enjoyed on a first-come, first-snoozed basis. It also established a new system for tuna distribution, based not on power, but on need, ensuring that even the smallest kitten would have a full belly. The cats had learned a powerful lesson. They realized that their strength was not in their ability to fight each other, but in their ability to unite, to share, and to look after one another. The world had been torn apart by their squabbles, and it was now their shared responsibility to heal it. In the aftermath of the war, the world was rebuilt with this new understanding. Statues were erected not for generals, but for the peacemakers. The kitten who chased the butterfly became a global icon, a symbol of the innocence they had almost lost. Cats from the former rival factions began to work together, sharing hunting grounds, grooming tips, and napping spots. They taught their young that a shared bowl of milk was better than a stolen feast, and that the warmth of a fellow cat sleeping nearby was more valuable than any territory. The humans, who had watched the entire war with a mixture of fear and amusement, were just happy that the furniture was no longer a battleground. The future of the cat world looked bright and hopeful. The lessons of World War III were passed down from one generation to the next, becoming the foundation of their new, more peaceful society. They had learned that true power was not in ruling others, but in the soft rumble of a contented purr, the comfort of a shared nap in the sun, and the simple joy of chasing a butterfly on a bright afternoon. The world was finally at peace, a peace built on the wisdom that only a cat could truly understand. The age of war was over, and the age of purrs had begun.